All right, it's 5 o'clock. Thank you all for coming. This regular meeting of the Carefree Town Council will come to order. Please take a silent roll call. And the Pledge of Allegiance, Anton Wilkie, please lead us in the pledge. United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I would just remind everyone, if you come up to the podium, to speak loudly and clearly into the microphone so the folks at home can hear you. And the same goes for the town council. Make sure that you're speaking into the mic and we can pick everything up. So first,
Someone's saying there's no sound, just texting.
okay, so Maddie, please check that out. Make sure we're broadcasting sound. All right. Consent agenda. All items listed hereunder are considered to be routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be discussed separately. So item number 1, approval of the March 4th, 2025 Town Council regular meeting minutes. Number 2, approval of the check register report, March 2025. Number 3, approval of combined trial balance off funds dated January 31st, 2025. 4, approval of combined trial balance all funds dated February 28th, 2025. Number 5.
I have a question on number 5.
Okay, we'll pull that when the time comes. Thank you. Okay, so we'll still read it into the record. Item number 5, request for approval of contract with Clifton Larson Allen for professional auditing services for FY25 and to FY29. Number 6, request for approval of a temporary street closure for a section of Ho-Hum Drive on Saturday, April 19th, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Carefree Earth Day celebration. Item number 7, request for approval to purchase ReciteMe accessibility checker software at an annual cost of $2,500 to assess and address ADA compliance on carefree.org and visit carefree.com websites.
I have a comment on that.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to approve. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Please. So we have items 1 through 7 on the agenda. I've heard we would like to pull number 5 and number 7. Would anyone else like to pull any other agenda items? So hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve agenda items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
I move that we accept items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 on the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So it passes unanimously. Item number 5. Simply, that was Councilwoman Roth. Go right ahead. You have a question?
Yes, I looked into Clifton, Landon Allen, and they had to settle $35.15 million for failing to catch a long-running embezzlement in Dixon, Illinois. $54 million over 22 years was embezzled, and they were the auditor and didn't catch it. I'm not sure they're our best person to go with.
How long were they auditing?
I think over 10 years.
Because usually there's a requirement to switch auditors over a certain period of time.
5 years.
Well,
5 years.
they had to settle $35.15 million, so they were there a significant amount of time. It was $54 million over 22. So they were the one that no
what was the
one
name of
else
the-
over that 22 years
What was the name
had to
of the
settle.
firm?
No, it was Dixon, Illinois, the
The
city.
town, the
It was a
town.
town, yeah, that they were auditing. And no other auditors over the 22 years were gone after. It was only this company.
So in the 22 years at that town, you mean?
Yeah, she embezzled 54 million over 22 years. And they were the people that were hit with the settlement. So they paid 35.15 million for not catching it.
Okay.
Now, it may make them a better auditor, but I think they're.
So I have, this is maybe a reflection of my understanding or misunderstanding. So when they audit, I think they look for procedures rather than focusing on bad behavior. So even though you get a good bill of health, doesn't necessarily mean that you're not embezzling money. Is that fair to say?
That's my understanding too.
That is correct, Mayor. That's per Arizona Revised Statute, what we audit here. Don't know what they do in a separate state. Don't know who was all involved with that audit. Don't know when that audit occurred. Bottom line for us is about 20 years ago, we used this firm, and this firm did represent us well. So obviously, national firm, different people, different states, different territories. Don't know who was all involved with that audit, but they've been a very respectful firm, have done a lot of municipal audits within the state of Arizona, so they are a very qualified firm.
Okay.
In the lawsuit, the city claimed that they failed to catch the embezzlement despite providing auditing and accounting and payroll services. So they were heavily involved. They didn't catch it. It's just my question.
Yep.
You know, if you feel they're the best, given that, but I think maybe we should have been aware of their history.
Councilwoman Roth, I'm just curious, something you just said. They were also responsible for their payroll and their accounting and everything?
They said they failed to catch while they were providing auditing, accounting, and payroll services.
Okay, so they were doing a lot more services than just the auditing. We're not having them do any of that.
That
Okay,
is
thank you.
correct. And
Splitting hairs, but yeah.
Oh, no, actually, it's not, I beg to disagree. So it is quite a difference. So versus an auditing service, strictly auditing service, versus a payroll service or
And accounting.
plus, and accounting services, their fingers were much further into that municipality than just doing a simple audit.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
I
I'm
mean-
hearing.
But they
That seems
should
like a
have caught it
conflict.
if they're more involved. That's why they had to settle the 35 million, because they
That's why
were
they-
heavily, they weren't just doing one. If you're doing all of that, you think they would have caught it earlier. Just
Okay,
FYI.
okay.
So did we look at other auditing
Oh,
services?
yes, in fact, in the packet, I think, I believe there was three other firms that were reviewed and we had quotes from.
This process was done by a request for proposal as mandated by the city council and as a best practice for a municipality. 3 agencies
Could you
submitted.
have to get closer to the microphone?
Thank you, Mayor.
13 was the lawsuit, so.
So Dennis is just saying that 2013 was the Clifton Larson Allen settlement issue that Diane is speaking about. Hinton Burdock, Abdo, and Clifton Larson Allen all responded to the request for proposal. And just on a side note, in my prior career, Clifton Allen Larson was our auditor for most of every 5 to 10 years. We had them back. So,
Where was that at?
City of Glendale, Arizona.
Mayor, members of the council, also, we have a lot of check and balances in place from a financial perspective. Those check and balances are outlined in our budget every year. You can look at the program-based budget and read for yourself what those checks and balances are. So we have a lot of controlling mechanisms. Tonight, you reviewed one of those controlling mechanisms when you look at the balance sheet and you look at our cut sheet that shows where the money came out from each department. So we are very transparent. You'll also have our respective check registry. So our funds are very transparent. I cannot speak of what happened in another state.
Okay, fair enough. Any other comments from council? Okay, so hearing none, I would ask for a motion to approve item number 5, request for approval of contract with Clifton Larson Allen for professional auditing services for FY '25 to FY '29.
Motion to request for approval of contract with Clifton Larson Allen for professional auditing services for fiscal year 25 to 29.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. One.
So the motion passes, I believe, 6-1. Item number 7. Just to refresh everyone's memory, request for approval to purchase Recite Me accessibility checker software at an annual cost of $2,500 to assess and address ADA compliance on carefree.org and visit carefree.com. Okay, Councilman Johnson.
My only comment on that is that there is an accessibility checker that we can have. It's a professional service for $1,800. A resident who's a former IT person gave it to me and said it's a great option. So I just brought that, and if you're interested, it's an option, save $700. That's it.
What's the name of the outfit?
It's right there. Accessibility checker. He's a former IT person, so he was familiar with it and just happened to give that to me. I can't
What's
claim.
the, Town Clerk, what's the timeline on having to implement this program? I believe we have some time.
We do have time, yes. It's a proactive measure, not a reactive. So yes, if you would like us to seek more information, we certainly can.
Are you familiar with this company?
Yes, I am familiar with it
Oh.
from Madison's research, and she also did some additional research and found that the average cost was between that 2,000 and close to 2,500. So the 1,800 is lower than we've seen. But the other piece of it is the Recite Me accessibility checker is used by other local governments. So I think that would be the question as to what the individual, if they're accustomed to local government, which is a different level than corporation and different level.
Yeah, so I would just suggest, and Dennis Fitzpatrick, make sure I do this right. Since we're not under the gun to pass this thing tonight, we have a lot of time. My understanding, these rules don't kick in until like next year or even beyond that.
Correct.
Why don't we just check this company out, accessibility checker, and figure it out.
Yeah.
So how do I do this?
Mr. Mayor, you can ask for a motion to table this item.
Okay, then I would ask a motion to table item number 7.
So Mayor, before you do
Yeah.
that, can you tell me what ADA stands for in this context?
It's American Disabilities Act.
Yes.
So it's those
so-
things which are, so in the context of this discussion
Right.
on websites and things like that, is to make sure that folks with disabilities who access our website or the visit website can get information out of it despite their disability.
Okay.
So they may be hearing impaired or have vision impairments or something else.
So if we table this, we are going to look at other companies that do the same thing?
Yeah, at least this company here, and just figure out what's the best solution. Because there's no rush to do this. By law, we have to do it, but the law doesn't tell us we have to do it until way in the future.
Right, fiscal year 27
Yeah.
for the federal government.
So, okay, so nicely done, Councilman Johnson. And I would just say, I would ask for a motion to table item number 7 on the consent agenda.
I move that we table item 7 on the consent agenda until we can look into it more.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passes unanimously, thank you. Okay, current events, which is item number 8. Councilwoman Roth has some current events. Go ahead.
Yes, after the success of our fall stargazing event, we decided to give it another go. We've talked about it. So Our Lady of Joy has graciously allowed us to use their parking lot. And on May 5th, Kevin Lafar from Focus Astronomy is going to do a event, and they will bring and set up 4 to 6 telescopes, bring a meteorite display. There are apparently going to be several really great celestial events going on, meteor showers, etc. and they're very interactive. So instead of like it being a lecture, they're gonna have, you can look through the telescopes, you can take pictures through the telescopes at certain parts of the sky, and they're very enthusiastic. So they're bringing their telescopes, their speakers, and their generator. So we're looking forward to it.
So I'm sorry, what was the date again?
May 5th, Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, and is there a
They'll
time?
start at 6, the setup will start at 6:30, and people can come in at that time.
Okay, okay,
Well,
great.
Madison and I will work on getting a blast out, and hopefully it'll be as successful as the one in the fall. Should be
Perfect.
fun.
It'll be fun. It'll be a little different than the one in the fall, because
Totally
the one in the
different.
fall was like a show, and this is your opportunity to get hands-on with a telescope, and there'll be 4 to 6 of them there. It'll be cool. It'll be fun. This is the same gentleman, the same organization that runs them at the Black Mountain PVC campus. I've been there. It's education, and it's a good time. So, anyway, good, thank you. We have a few other current events. So we have Carefree Conversations coming up on Friday, April 11th, 9 to 11 in the pavilion, and that'll be Council members Lon Johnson and Colleen Rose Skirty. Also, this week is Bike Week, right, through Sunday. So just be on your guard. So there's a lot of motorcycles out there. We've had 3 accidents over the weekend. 2 of them might have been initiated by a car rather than a motorcycle, and one was certainly initiated by a motorcycle. So just be careful, just mind yourself, and watch out for them, just give them the benefit of the doubt. On the 12th of April, Kiwanis of Carefree will have a pancake breakfast in the pavilion. And that's always a good time. And that goes from 7 to noon, so they've actually stretched it out by another hour, so 7 a.m. to noon. And then on that same morning, we have a garden seminar here in the Town Council Chamber at 9:30. So the subject there is 6 tips for successful summer gardening for plants for success. So this is to help plant plants that will survive the summer and even vegetables in the summer. On April 9th, we have Coffee with a Cop, right? So we do this every fall and every spring. So April 9th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., the Black Mountain Coffee Shop. So we'll have MCSO there, Captain Letourneau will be there, he's our precinct captain. And if it's like the prior ones, there'll be 4 or 6 other officers there. It's an opportunity to learn what's going on, especially after Bike Week, should be interesting. And it's an opportunity for you to speak with them one-on-one. So if there's a question you want to ask in public, it's a great time to talk to them. And then the firemen suggested, they got wind of the Coffee with a Cop, and they said, why don't we do something with the firemen, the fire department? So we came up with an idea called Caffeine with a Carefree Firefighter, and that'll be on May 15th. Again, 8 to 10, the Black Mountain Coffee Shop. So same concept. Chiefs will be there, some of the firemen will be there, and you can just talk to them, learn about things. And to their credit, they're available a lot, right? You see them, especially promoting the Firewise, but it'll be a great opportunity that day on the 15th of May, that Thursday, to come out and talk to them. On our consent agenda, we approved Earth Day, so that's April 19th, Saturday, 9 to 1 in the pavilion. Great family event. We've done it several years in a row. So there's snakes there, there's reptiles, there's birds, games for kids, things for adults, and things for the whole entire family. So it's a great event to go out to. Coming up in April is the budget season. So we have 3 budget workshops in April, and they're all posted on the website. But the first one is April 15th, and that's where staff comes and tell us what they've done for the last 12 months. And that April 15th one starts at 2 p.m., but it starts at Public Works. So it's an opportunity to have a tour, to understand what they're doing, see their equipment, see what they might need. So that's at 2 o'clock. And then at 2:45, we'll reconvene here in the town council chambers and go through the other departments and staff members. On April 22nd, we have another meeting at 2 p.m. here, and that's just to review forecasts and revenues and expenditures. And then on April 29th, we really get into the budget. We have a budget overview, do project-based review of the budget items, and get a much better understanding. At our last council meeting, there was discussions about the CVS building. And someone brought to our attention that on the social media, there was word out there that Rare Earth Gallery was going to occupy the space, but only use it for storage. So the next day, right, the following Wednesday after that council meeting, staff reached out to the owner of that, Wayne Helfand, and clarified that he will, in fact, do retail out of that space. So that's a commercial space. You can't be doing storage there, and he's going to do what we expect him to do. So is he here today? Oh, there you are. Great. Okay. Well, you're welcome to come up and clarify what I had to say and set the record straight for us.
Good evening, Mayor, council members.
Just got to speak into that microphone so we can hear you. Yeah, give it a little. There you go.
Good evening, Mayor, council
Great,
members.
thank you.
I guess I was asked to come tonight to possibly clarify some of the wonderful rumors that are going around. It's it amazed me at some of the things that have been said of what's going in there, and left unchecked, it can really get out of hand. And I want to kind of set the record straight tonight about what we're doing there, who I am, and what we're going about doing. I've been in Cave Creek in Carefree area for the past 13 years with my gallery. The gallery itself is a world-class destination. I've spent my life collecting these types of things and sharing them with people and educating them. It's not just a place to go and buy things. It's a place to come and learn about some of the treasures of the earth and what nature, God, has made. And sometimes it leaves me in awe when I see some of these things as I'm going around the world purveying them, and to bring them back here and be able to share them with not just clientele, but in the gallery, it's become a landmark, a destination. And I'm very proud of what myself and my staff have put together. In moving forward, well, let me back up for a second. A few years ago, I lost my lease on my gallery when I was at the southwest corner of Cave Creek and Schoolhouse. And I looked around the entire city trying to think about where I would want to go. And I couldn't find any place that had the warmth and reception and wherewithal of what I found in this community. At that point, I wasn't sure where we were going. The town allowed me to put a tent up on the corner, on the northeast corner of Schoolhouse and Cave Creek Road. And when the tent first went up, nobody knew what it was. And the hate mail that started online, especially with one of the social media things about how could the town allow this, let's tar and feather the person that's putting this up, you know, how could council allow it, how could the building inspector allow it, and this went on for about 2 or 3 days, and it was getting really nasty. And I don't usually look at social media, but it was brought to my attention numerous times. And on the third day, after reading all these wonderful comments that were being made with people not knowing what was going on there, I wrote everyone back, and I introduced myself, and I said, I guess I should chime in about what's going on there. And once I explained what I was doing and who I was and what we had already accomplished in the little place we had, I assured people 3 things. I said, 1, the tent is temporary. And it's permanent, and I can assure you that although it looks a little messy right now because we're just moving in, I will give you a world-class display. So moving forward with CVS, we have come up with a number of concepts, and working with Stacy and some of the members from the administration, one of the things we're going to be doing, and it's going to be in stages, is going to be an art walk on the corner with some unusual materials that I think you'll all be very impressed with when you see it. There's a sign up there that says "Coming Soon," and I guess I would probably have to leave it at "Coming Soon," except if anybody took the time to look at the Discovery map that was printed a couple months ago. If you look all the way down at Cave Creek and Carefree, it says what's going on there. I didn't print this last week. It's actually been out and been on all the stands around town between Carefree and Cave Creek of actually what's going in there. I would probably leave it as, if you haven't seen the gallery, to understand what I'm talking about, please come in. As I said, it's a world-class destination. I usually tell people, if you're not impressed with what you see there, I'll give you anything you want in the gallery. We are very proud of it, and I would want to assure the council that it's not going to be a storage bin for Rare Earth Gallery, and it's going to happen in stages. It's not all overnight. Some of the things that I bring, that I procure, are heavy, they're beautiful, they're fragile, inside and out. So I just ask everybody to be patient. I will tell you, when I wrote the letter on Infamous blog about the tent, I got 300 responses, and they were all positive. They said they didn't realize it was me. God bless. Please go forward, but give us something beautiful. And I promise you, it'll be something that will be a landmark. It will be a destination place, and I think we'll all be proud of it when it gets done. So have a little trust, look at what I've already accomplished, and we'll move forward from there. And if anybody wants to come in and talk to me about it, I'm more than happy to.
All right, well, thank you. Thanks for setting the record straight. I really appreciate you
Hey.
standing up and
No
speaking.
problem, Mayor. No problem, Mayor Crane.
So
Thank you very much.
this is current events, so we don't have an opportunity to ask questions, but thank you very much. So that concludes current events for this evening. Item number 9, review, discussion, and possible action to approve Resolution 2025-07, First Amendment to the Development Agreement with CCS Crossroads LLC. So
Mr.
we just
Mayor,
turn-
members of council, items 9 and 10 are mine. This is purely a clarification. You approved this agreement at the March 4th, both agreements at the March 4th, but I did them as one resolution. I went back and looked at how we did them in November. We used 2 separate resolutions. I think it's clearer to use 2 separate resolutions to approve both of them, just so we're consistent with how we did the original agreements. I think we had the right to do it with one, but I just thought I'd rather do it with 2. I asked Gary if he was good with it. He was fine. And so both items, exact same agreement that you approved at the last, but they're 2 separate resolutions this time.
Okay, so this is simply a housekeeping.
It's just simply a
Just,
housekeeping. I just asked for 2 separate votes on it.
Okay, very well. Good, thank you. Any questions or comments from council? So hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2025-07, a resolution of the Council of the Town of Carefree, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing the mayor to execute the First Amendment to the Development Agreement Carefree Quarter between the Town of Carefree and CCS Crossroads LLC.
Motion to approve Resolution 2025-07, First Amendment to the Development Agreement with CCS Crossroads LLC.
Second?
Before we vote, any comments, questions? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously, thank you. Item number 10, review, discussion, and possible action to approve Resolution 2025-08, First Amendment to the Maintenance Agreement with CCS Crossroads LLC. Counselor, I think it's the same
Yes.
explanation we
Mayor,
just
members of
had.
council, exact same. You approved the maintenance agreement last council meeting. We're just separating them out with 2 separate resolutions.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the council? Hearing none. I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2025-08. A resolution
Sorry.
of the council, a resolution of the council of the town of Carefree, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing the mayor to execute the First Amendment to a maintenance agreement for wash improvements between the town of Carefree and CCS Crossroads LLC and the Carefree Quarter Association and Arizona Nonprofit Corporation.
Motion to approve Resolution 2025-08, First Amendment to the maintenance agreement with CCS Crossroads LLC.
Second?
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously, thank you.
Well, thank you. Sorry about that. but I
No
appreciate
problem at all.
that.
Item number 11, call to the public. Those wishing to address the council need not request permission in advance. The public may address the council on matters not on the agenda. At the conclusion of an open call to the public, individual members of the public body may respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the public body, may ask staff to review a matter, direct staff to study the matter, reschedule the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date, or may ask that a matter be put on a future agenda. However, the council may not discuss or take legal action at this time. Please limit your comments to not more than 3 minutes. And I have one slip, Ms. Jan Neal.
Good evening, Mayor and Town Council. I have 3 items tonight, so I'll be quick. So the first one has to do with diversified partners. And as I recall, we were in a let's hurry up and sign this contract at the end of 2024 because they had all of these merchants that were wanting to sign and they didn't want to lose them, even to the point where instead of waiting for the 3 new council members to be seated, the decision was made to go ahead and let's hurry up and vote. But I'm disappointed we don't have an update tonight. And I'm also wondering if there's been any activity since they last reported that they only have 1 retailer sign. So if there is a way you can address that after I finish, I would appreciate that. The second item has to do with the flashing stop signs. And I was thinking about this the other day as my car almost got hit because it was my turn to go through the stop sign at Mule Train and Cave Creek Road, but this lady to my left decided not to look left and right and come to a rolling stop and almost hit me. And I was thinking about the flashing stop signs, and I appreciate that we're trying to do something at these intersections that are actually quite dangerous. And I guess I came to the conclusion that the flashing lights alert people that there is a stop sign, but I'm not sure it's doing anything to change behavior. And that's not the first time I've seen people roll through. It happens a lot at Mule Train and Stagecoach as I try to enter the east gate at the Boulders. I mean, I come out of the gate at the Boulders, I stop, and I just I look and I hold my breath and I go, and I don't know whether somebody's going to be coming from the east. So I would just encourage us to continue to think of some kind of solutions, because there's going to be a heck of another accident sometime. The third item is, it's great that we're doing the music on Saturday afternoons. I've been actually going over there, and I appreciate when there are chairs out there. I don't think it was last Saturday, I think it was the Saturday before. It was the young violinist. There were no chairs out, and so there were a lot of people milling around, which is great activity. But I'm not able to sit on a half bench without a back for very long. I tried. So I thought, okay, well, I'll look for a bench to sit on. The only bench I found was the one in front of the artificial grass for the doggies. And as I sat down there and looked forward, I saw something I didn't want to be looking at
Okay. Well,
during
time's
the wonderful music.
But we
So-
understand the message.
Yeah.
But yeah, time is up, I'm afraid.
Oh,
And then
anyway.
I would just suggest, we cannot answer your questions.
Okay.
Call to the public, but Mr. Popopek's here, and he can certainly answer your first question.
Can I just add like one sentence?
One sentence.
I would encourage us to have more benches in that area, because people are loving that. The gardens, they're beautiful, and it would be very appreciated.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, that concludes call to the public. Item number 12, adjournment. I entertain a motion for adjourning.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good, thank you. Almost. Yeah, I know. That was it. Anyway, good comment on that.